Hello, everybody. My name is Coach Armand, and tonight we're having our Operation Popcorn Hangout number 4. And basically, what we're doing this for the team to celebrate people as they break ranks like D1, D2, D3. If you're not on the team, you may not know what that is, so just get back to the person that invited you to this, and I'll be more than happy to explain this to you. As you see, we have a star-studded panel tonight, and I'm just going to have everybody come out and say hi briefly, maybe tell their name, quickly what they see with what we have here. So I'll bring Big J out really quick for a minute just to say hi, and I'll just pass it down the line, and we'll get into some meat and potatoes because tonight we're going to talk about events, why that's important to you, and as you hang out with us and you listen to the sound of my voice, later on tonight we're going to drop some nuggets that will help you to build a very profitable business in a short period of time. So, Big J, can you come out and just introduce yourself and maybe the vision you saw here?
It's Big J in Colorado, and to be honest, I came for the training and stayed for the product. It's which is a good way to present this to people, but it's also if somebody's brand new, the training here you can get. Honestly, there's an abundance of information here, and put it this way: there's no stone left unturned unless you leave it unturned. So there's a ton of information to get here. And if you're already a marketer and want to hone your skills, it's a great place. And if you're, like I said, if you're somebody that's anybody really who just wants to change your life, this is a great group of people. And the other thing I came back for was the spirit of this team. There's a great sense of community and help and love, and really people trying to help each other out, and that's amazing. And if you can make 10 of your best friends rich, you can make yourself rich.
Awesome, thank you, Big J. And actually, I'm going to get ready to bring you out. If you can just kind of tell us a little bit about you, why you're here with the Simple Freedom family, and we'll go ahead and pass it on from there to Christina.
Can everybody hear me?
Absolutely, you're loud and clear.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I just came here. Why am I here, really? Been a person who's been a professional in this industry now for the last few years, and just taking a look at why exactly would you join a group of people like us. And the deal is really, it's just about that, about the people. Like Big J says, a lot of people, they come for the money, but they stay for the feeling, and that's absolutely what you get here. You get that family sense of feeling here with the Simple Freedom Group here. A bunch of people that just, open to teaching you anything and everything that they know about actually becoming successful here online and offline, just as people. So that's really one of the main reasons I came here, is just to be able to connect with great people and just to become just to better myself, and in the process helping others to become their higher selves. So that's it in a nutshell.
Awesome. And then we're going to have next come out, Christina, if you can share with us why you're here, what you see here, just quickly as a quick introduction. That would be greatly appreciated. So I wanted to bring Christina out.
Okay, well, here we go again. I came for actually the money, and I don't know why I always stay little on this thing, but anyway, I'm there in the corner. I came for the money, and I stayed for the culture. And meaning that I have been doing network marketing for about 12 years, not very successfully. My last opportunity, I decided to do traffic, and we won't go into what that is, but I needed money to do that. And I thought, okay, I'll do this other thing, I'll make some money, I'll be able to drive my other opportunity using that money. But I never did that, because once I got into understanding what was going on here with Simple Freedom,
Christina.
Lost her.
Okay, Christina, you're on mute. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, you're good.
Oh, how fun. I just hit this mute button I didn't even know I had. So where was I? Where was I in what?
You were just telling us about you had another business and then you were going to use this to fund it,
Okay.
and then right after that you cut off.
Okay. Well, and that wasn't very far. Um, Once I got into the family part of it, I never did get into worrying about trying to run that other thing. I just kind of turned that whole thing off, and I'm running with my family and learning so much, and that has been the biggest thing too. Is I'm learning way better how to connect with people and actually run my network marketing.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Um, Next up, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna save these two champions for a little bit. No, go ahead. I'm gonna have you come out and tell us why you're here. Queen D, I'm gonna have you come out. Let us know your vision, why you're here, and any word for the people.
Thanks, Coach. Can you hear me okay?
Absolutely, Queen D.
All right. I've been a fan and an addict of the Simple Freedom family for quite some time. I resonated with the message right off the bat. But in the period of several years, I lost my focus to obviously in other things. But I always came back to the Simple Freedom family because frankly, I'm here for the people. I came for the money, like Christina was saying, because that's what I wanted. I wanted my freedom. I wanted enough money to be able to eventually be with the people that I choose to hang out with. So I stay for the people. I also stay because I know now through all the years of confusion and information overload that I can actually bring teammates aboard and keep them in a place where anybody, regardless of their skill level, whether they're seasoned entrepreneurs, seasoned marketers, or brand newbies, can actually come in here and be successful. And we're seeing that over and over and over again here. And this is what really fires me up because after years of being in this industry for the money, but also wanting to free other people, it's actually happening, and it's a reality, and that's why I'm here.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good deal. And I'm going to introduce somebody who's actually going to be a special guest, so you also want to definitely stay around here. Matter of fact, before I do that, I see Sunshine over to your right over there, and I'm going to have this young lady come out really briefly. If you can tell us your name, where you're from today, where you're originally from, and what you see here, and some word for the people.
Hi everybody, I'm Dana Cruzan. I live in Wrightwood, California, which is the Southern California mountains. Right now I'm on a road trip with my buddy D, and we're in Arizona and we're doing some fun stuff. We're living simple freedom. We are doing what we want to do when we want to do it, and that's what it's all about. I came to Simple Freedom very recently because of Franco and D, and yeah, I want to make money, but I really like working with all of you, and I really like that I have a chance to help people. I really like helping people. I like training and teaching, and this is it's home for me, and this is where I'm going to be. So peace out. I'm here for good.
Awesome, outstanding, and we're gonna bring up somebody
Not
who's
making
gonna.
dinner, so I'm going to be in and out.
Sounds good. Pleasure. Thank you so much. We're going to bring out somebody who's actually going to be one of our special guests. This lady, we go back more than just a couple of years. We go back in heart. We go back in spirit. And I'm going to bring out Queen Trisha. If you can just let us know a little bit about you and what you see here, what you found, what you felt.
Thank you, Armand. Yeah, I'm Trisha Barnes, and we're known as the Naked Hippies because we live full-time on the road on a never-ending road trip. And that's one of the main reasons that Simple Freedom resonates with us so much is because we're living the life of simple freedom. We got rid of everything, and we live here. I don't know if you can see it. There's our pickup camper, the back door. So yeah, it's a culture of freedom thinkers, freedom warriors, but it's also a family. And the connections that we've made in this group they're just so strong, and we know that there will be for a lifetime. You know, we're in this for a lifetime, you guys, and we're family. That's what we've got here. So I'll wait till later to tell you more.
Awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And I just briefly want to share a story because what we're getting ready to do is, you know, the power of events. Events basically are the glue of your business, and a lot of us here on the line just left the event last weekend, and I asked people to come out and just share what they gathered from that event because if we can, in some small way, we want to bring you something tangible that you can receive from that event. And all I can tell you is one of the things that I received from that event is I received the fact that it was more about heart. It was more about connecting. Yeah, we did some of the how-tos, but if you don't have the why, the how-to doesn't really matter. Because if you don't know why you're here, if you don't know why, you know, you're doing this, what you're looking to improve, just like if you listen to all the panel, they're telling you they're here to assist people. They're here to see a better way for themselves. And isn't it brilliant that the only way we win and continue winning our freedom is to help you to win your freedom. And freedom is not some little small box. Freedom is something that is humongous that we all can step into. So with that being said, what I simply wanted to do is we're going to start this off really quick and talk about some of the basics briefly. And Big J, are you there?
I'm here, buddy.
Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand it over to you for a couple of minutes. Something that's really key to my heart, as you all know, GoPro. This is the blueprint of what we do. If you don't have it, make sure you get it. I don't care if you're on our team, you're not on our team. We talk GoPro. This is what we do. Now, with that being said, we also, there's one thing that I ask people to do is when you come in, you work with me personally, or anybody on my team for that matter of fact, we encourage you, highly encourage you, gently, but not really, to go and plug into a mastermind group called Think and Grow Rich. We will probably give you the information for that call. It will be around. But here's a gentleman that I encourage to do that. He's doing it, and I call him, his name is Big J, but I call him Mr. Think and Grow Rich. So, Big J, can you tell us how Think and Grow Rich has impacted you, maybe why somebody would want to go there, and maybe a little bit about the MDP?
Oh, I certainly will. And think if for anybody who doesn't, you know, if you're on this call, you're here because you want to do something for yourself. So grab a pen and paper and write this down. Napoleon Hill. Write down the title of the book. That's the author, Napoleon Hill. The name of the book is Think and Grow Rich. And I think almost everybody's probably heard of this before, but just in case, maybe you haven't. But Armand, I'm gonna go ahead and give him the phone number too. I think we need to do that. So everybody write this down. Every morning at 6 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern, there is a live mastermind call where there are several hundred people on a call on a daily basis. And I don't care if you're a bank teller or a garbage man or the master network marketer or somebody starting out, whatever it is that you want to do in this life, if you want to do it better and you want to attract to yourself whatever it is that you want, money, influence, the right mate, whatever it is that you want to bring, this is what this call is about. And I'll tell you, a lot of the people on the call are network marketers, but there's a lot of people on there, they're just simple cats that are trying to change their lives. But here's the number, and I'm looking at like I'm staring at you, but it's because it's taped to my screen on my computer. It's the number, it's 10 a.m. Eastern every weekday, Monday through Friday. The number 712-432-0900. I'll repeat that back again. It's 712-432-0900. And when you call in, it'll ask for a PIN code, and that code is 565762#. Again, 565762#. Now, for all you out there that are going, oh, well, I can't do it at that time. Well, guess what? You can do it later because it's recorded for 24 hours till the next call goes up. And the phone number for that is very similar to the one I just gave you, just only one digit off, but it's 712-432-0900. 0990. Again, 712-432-0990. And the PIN code is the same, 565762#. You can call once the call ends. They load it up, and it becomes a 24-hour recording until the next. Excuse me, got the hiccups. Until the next call takes its place. So, and I'll tell you, I try to catch that call, but during the school year, for instance, it's not always convenient because I'm making breakfast for my kids, and while that call is still going, I'm driving them to school. So I can't always make that call live. But you know what? I never missed that call. It was about 2 months ago. Armand actually invited me to the call. I didn't know it existed. I've done Think and Grow Rich as a practice several times in my life. And I'll try to keep this brief, but something even Armand doesn't know. Coach Armand doesn't even know this about me, that twice in my life I've been well worth over $1 million. Both times that I got to that point was from following the practices of Think and Grow Rich and other philosophies and practices like it. But that was always key. And I followed what it tells you to do to get ahead. But unfortunately, I guess the universe didn't think I was ready at the time to hold on to those things because I lost them all. But guess what? I started thinking about this lately as I started getting into that call again, or getting into the book again, and then getting into the call, is I would start building up my wealth, and then I would forget that I would start thinking it was all about me. And that's actually a big thing that this call, you'll get out of this call and out of the book. And it all went away because I forgot the most valuable lesson, which was to serve other people. And I wasn't a bad guy or anything. I just started get kind of caught up in myself. And I was Big J, big pimp of the world, And then all of a sudden, bam! Start over. Do not pass go. Start over. So when Armand suggested me to get on this call, and besides, Armand's somebody known for a long time, and I trust what he does. As a matter of fact, he told me to come to Wake Up Now because he said this is what you need to do. I said okay. So I did it, and then I did it because I knew I could get some excellent training here. I stayed for the product. But there's a big part of Think and Grow Rich. You can read a book. And if you're like me, you might try to go through a book like it was a trophy or something. You go through it as fast as you can so you can put it back up on the shelf and go, yay, I accomplished that book. But you know what? It's because that's not how it works. As a matter of fact, that's why this call is so good, is because they go through a reading every day. They talk about what was read, and then the second half of the call is what is the mastermind group. And you get to hear people from all walks of life, from the brand newbie to the guy that's out there busting out 7 figures a year. And you get to hear them talk about how what they learned and read today applies in their life. And so it is a program. It's not just a book, and it's not just a philosophy. It tells you, do these specific things to get ahead. And one of those is your major definite purpose. And that is basically, without getting too complicated about it, you could nutshell it by saying writing out your goals. But it's deeper than that. It's about what's your mission? Why were you put here? What is it you really want to do? If you want to just make money, guess what? You can make money, but you usually won't hold on to it for very long if that's your only purpose, because you don't have something solid holding and anchoring that down. And so what I did was, when I joined the group, joined that call, they invite you. You can go to the website and sign up for that. I'll let you just do the call first. Take one step at a time. But anyway, the gentleman that leads the call, his name's Paul, he had put on there his own major definite purpose as a thing for others to model. And so Armand and I were talking, and we were masterminding. Armand stays on top of me. He's a good coach. And he said, what have you done with all this stuff? I'm like, well, I've been listening to the call. Get on there every day. La-di-da-di-da. But I had to wake up and realize, you know what? I remember what this book and it as a program has done for me in the past. So I sat down and I had Armand send me his, and I looked at Paul's, and I took that information. But anything that you see and do and learn around here, what you need to do is to make it your own. And that doesn't mean you have to start from scratch. I didn't. I basically took the words from somebody else and went through them and just changed them all around. Pretty soon, I've got this 10-page thing that I read every morning. And it takes me about 10 minutes to go through it, and I walk around while I'm saying it, and it goes through and it talks about my mission statement. It talks about what I'm going to do, how much money I'm going to make, when I'm going to make it, because it's not just about money, but you need to have a benchmark for money. You're never going to have any specific amount. You got to say to yourself, this is what I want, and I will expect and believe that I will receive by a certain time. And then it goes on, and it has principles in it, and then you have your own statements of desire, but they're statements of acquisition already achieved. In other words, I have this. I already have these things that I'm asking for. So you say it just like it talks about in the Bible, ask as it is already been given to you. And that's what this kind of really the principle of this whole thing is. And so, because here's the thing, if you don't stand for something, you're going to fall for anything. And if you don't have a plan, those who fail to plan to fail. So have your plan, have it written out, and you know what? Every single day, I wholeheartedly recommend that you read that to yourself out loud. And if you got family members that are, here's the other thing too. One thing I say this to myself and to the people I love all the time. Don't share your dreams with those who don't share your dreams. Why should you bring negative people into your life that are going to try to knock you down? It's cool to have somebody there to support you. That's your teammate and your cheering section and but more not your cheering section, your teammate. Somebody that believes in what you believe in, and it might be whether they're part of it or not, they support you. Well, that's cool to express that out loud to somebody else. But if not, just make it yourself and do this. But if you follow, I can tell you from having done 7 figures 2 different times in my life. I'm talking about like yearly income, by the way. If you can just follow some simple little things that other people have gone before you and done, then you are able to have whatever you want. And you know what? When you first start reading something like this every morning, it says I'm going to have, it's personal. It is, just like it says right at the top, personal manifesto. But I'll give you an example. I will have $50,000 by this date. Well, when you first start saying that, it might even sound ridiculous to you, but guess what, man? I just started my manifesto. I wrote it out for the first time. You can see the date on here. It says June 4th. That's when I wrote it out, and guess what? I've had about 3 things that I didn't expect to happen for a year have already happened to me. So it is powerful. I highly recommend it. If you're sitting around feeling like you're not getting what you deserve out of life, well, then get off your ass and do something. That's all.
Thank you, Big J. I appreciate you laying down the foundation there for us. Greatly appreciate it, man. And also, too, what I like to do now is bring out a lady that I just met in person here in San Diego. Her name is Christina, and the thing that I love about this is you see people shifting. You see people hit 1 gear, and then they go into 2nd gear, and then they're going into 3rd gear, and they skip the 5th gear. This is what I sense is what's happening to her, and as you all have been following us through this progress, we celebrated her a couple of weeks ago for becoming D3, which means she's free, meaning that she is a leader on our team. She's leading a team of individuals to their freedom. And with that being said, Queen Christina, let me ask you, how was this event for you? What was your mindset before, and how is your heart now?
Well, before I was hell bent on getting. Well, of course, I want to get more D3s so I can get more people free and all that. But I was really just charging it and working it, and I kind of lost track of the feel. I lost track of the heart of the whole thing. And going to this event was just totally amazing. And what happened is, and it was everything, every single thing anybody said, and just especially meeting everybody, meeting you, Armand, and Dee. There was such a great connection there. Talking talking into the night, that was wonderful. Having Trish and Bruce rescue me at the airport and take me in, and Dee and I and Trish and Bruce were all sleeping in the back of the camper, and just all of those things, and going then into the mastermind and meeting people. I've been doing network marketing for 12 years to just really do the network part of it, and I've done all the events. I've gone. I know how to do that stuff, and every time. And I hope I'm not getting off track here, but every time I would go, I would get enthused, and yes, I would feel a certain amount of camaraderie with the people, and a certain amount of family, and certainly there would be great inspiration that would go on. And every time I'd get on the plane, and I would be just, all right, as soon as the rubber meets the road, I'm going to get out there and I'm going to get that next whatever, and then the rubber would hit the road, and then I'd get on the bus to go to get my car, and then I'd go and drive the 2 hours to get back home, and then I'd get home, and then there would be life, and then there would be other stuff going on. And I've got my notes right here. I always take copious notes. Those notes that I took at all those other events would sit on my desk, because now I'm back in life, and I'm thinking I'm doing my stuff that I said I was going to do to get my business going forward. I was trying to remember everything I learned, and I won't keep going on with that, but that's how the other events would be. This one was different. This one, I came with this stuff in here. It was all this heart stuff that was going on. I mean, at the bonfire, in the mastermind itself, it was all, like you, I think, just said, Armand. It was all about heart, and I came out with such a feeling of just love exploding out of me, not only to the Simple Freedom people, but to every single person on Facebook that I know or don't know, every single person in the world. And I know, my belief is we're all connected by a golden thread. And I know we are all connected, and I know how to connect. I know how to connect to people, but I forgot. I forgot it. And since I've been back, it's like I'm tuning in, and this light is coming out, and people are picking it up, and I'm not talking to them much. I mean, I do my posts that do talk. I don't even know if I'm really talking that much about business, but I'm now attracting, because what's going out, I'm attracting people that are asking about, what is this Simple Freedom? They're not asking me about my business, they're asking me about this group. And so then we get into that, and then that turns into leading with the feel, and then with the product, and then I haven't even, I'm not signing up 1 million people, but we're getting into quality conversations, and we really talk about just what's going on, and I don't know, these are me people. These aren't people that I'm trying to prospect. These are me people that are coming to me. They're seeing something that's coming out of me. And I will say, and I don't want to slight anybody, because like I said, every single thing that went on, everybody that I talked to had a piece of this puzzle. But when Franco took us through that 5 steps, and he said and I've got my notes here, he said to write down the 5 reasons why you came, why you're here, and then he played Watching the Wheels by John Lennon in the background. Those things are hard for me to do. When you're sitting there and you're asked to do that, it's hard to reach down and bring that stuff out. But having that music, it just helped me go step by step by step, and I got my 5 things written down. And then he brought us back and asked us to do 3 more. And I'm like, okay, all right, here we go. Well, he put Imagine by John Lennon on. And that took me inside into my heart and brought me down. And when I got to my eighth item, I remembered about that golden thread. I remembered about uplifting people and helping them to remember why they're here and how they can be free. And that is what I came out of that. I mean, the songs play in my mind continually, and I keep them there because in the morning, if I'm rushed, I at least listen to Watching the Wheels. And I also listen to I do the Think and Grow Rich call too. But I listen to that. That brings me back to that state. I remember being in that room, and then at night I listen to both of them, and I go to bed with Imagine playing in my head. And that's usually I've come to have that as my last post as I'm speaking to these people, because it brings me back here. It brings me into my heart so that I can connect to the hearts of the other people out there, because I truly believe I'm not going to go anywhere unless I am connecting at the heart level. So that's what I came out with.
Awesome, awesome. Just want to unmute myself as I was paying attention to you. So I appreciate you coming out, Queen Christina. And right now, I'm just going to kind of let her know, Dana, that we're going to have you coming up next. This is somebody who is a powerhouse. It was a pleasure to see her again. We're local, but we're not local to each other. And if you can just let us know, being that you've been to a Simple Freedom event before, what is Simple Freedom to you? How has this event impacted you? And anything else you'd want to add for the people out there. So, Queen Dana, can you come on out for us?
Hi there. This event was really, really interesting because I wasn't coming. I was just, you get in that mood and you just don't want to go. And then I hooked up with Leslie, and Leslie told me she was driving by herself from Bakersfield, and I'm like, no, drive to my house, let's go together. And that's from my need to help people. I really like to help people. So Leslie and I went down there, and then we hooked up with Russ, and I was destined to be there. I was destined to be there. And like you said, we go to trainings and we expect to learn something, technical about systems and about what to do. But this was different. This was Franco and John talking to us about why they started this. And it was just like, wow. And everybody was crying. And, I've cried at events before, but this is different. It was more intimate, and I felt like I was in a room of my family. I mean, I've met you, Armand, but I've never met, a few of these people, and to see them in person was just like, whoa. It just feels like home to me, and it feels like my family. And then we went out to the campfire event, and that was even better, but it was different. And I was meant to be there, even though I was going to quit and I was going to not go, and I was full of my ego, but I went, and I needed to be there, and it changed everything. I mean, this is not about the program we're doing. This is about how we're helping people. And it doesn't matter what program we're doing. It's this group of people that are together, and our one goal is to be free. And this little taste of this road trip that Dee or I are on it must be what Trisha and Bruce live daily. I mean, it's like we get to go and do fun things, and then we come home and work, and we're posting on our phones as we're out there what we're doing, and it's just a message to everybody that you can live like this, you can be free, and it's just wonderful. It's just wonderful.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for your time. And also, too, I know you've got a partner with you as you're on this road trip. And Queen D, I'm going to ask you to come out. We're mastermind buddies. We've known each other for a while. I've got the highest of respect to you. Can't say thank you enough to what you do for us and the team here. And so I want to bring out somebody from a perspective of what did you receive from this? Maybe why people might want to plug into the next event, and anything else you had for us right before I bring out our guest of the evening.
Thanks, Coach, and right back at you, because I appreciate you so much. I've since hooking up with you and beginning to do these amazing hangouts, I've learned so much from you and respect you immensely. So thank you. The event this weekend, sometimes we get to a point where we think that, we've been around for a while, like we've been around with the Simple Freedom family for quite some time, and we feel, personally, for me anyways, that maybe we know what we're talking about, we know what we want, we know what our goals are, we know what our why is, why are we doing what we do. And to be perfectly honest, I was not clear on that. I know that I want to be free. I know what I want. I want to be free. I want to be financially free. I want to be free to travel, but it's so much deeper than that. And what Christina said, she speaks my heart. You speak my heart, Christina, because when Franco went through that whole exercise and asked what our why was, I didn't really know. I wasn't. It wasn't deep enough for me. It wasn't. It wasn't about what the real core value is about what we're doing here. And when it came down to the very last, after the second, you got to add your last three. For me, it was about inspiring other people. I've always wanted to be a teacher. I've always wanted to be the person that somebody looked up to and said, "You inspired me. You inspired me to be more, to do more, to have more." And there was a point there where Franco had Bruce and Trisha come up and speak, and I love to hear them speak every time. And when he came over to Bruce and Trisha and put his hand on their shoulder and said, "This is what it's about. It's about helping my friends get free." And his voice broke, and there were tears in his eyes, and I began to cry. And I know I looked back at the coach, and he began to cry, and that was and I'm sure there were all kinds of people in the room that really felt that emotion and that love in that room. And that was the moment that I realized that is what this is all about. It's got absolutely nothing to do with money. It's got nothing to do, although that's great, don't get me wrong, it has absolutely nothing to do about a comp plan. My why is to be around people like that and to attract people like that into my life, because it's what gives me life. And that's what the event did for me. And all I can say is I can hardly wait for the next one, to be amongst that, to be in that energy and that vibration of just love for everybody.
Mm. Ooh, wow, you put me back in that state, Queen D. Man, yeah, it was definitely a special time. I appreciate the word that you just brought. And the only thing that comes to my mind is basically just heartfelt, just one of those times you really can't even explain, but we're doing our best to bring you a little bit of that. And so as I go into this, I'm going to bring Queen Trisha out. And one of the nuggets that I gain is because I'm always doing my best to listen and to listen even more, is somehow we met at the beach, the mastermind after the mastermind after the mastermind, and a little angel whispered in my ear and told me about a book called E2. And I have a ton of books. It's one of the books I hadn't heard about, but I just got this simple feeling that it's something I definitely should plug into. And all I can say is I found myself one day basically going to get some green, because I do some juicing, meaning I take organic vegetables and do a green smoothie out of them just to help maintain my health, to eat right, to get more vegetables into my body. I found myself having a thought, and when you get these thoughts, you definitely desire to pay attention. I got this thought, you buy Starbucks. Starbucks is by the bookstore. Why don't you stop by the bookstore? So I stopped by the bookstore really quick, Thought I'd see if they had the book E2. At the same token, I'm on my cell phone looking at Amazon. I see Amazon has it for $9. I said, well, if they can't beat Amazon's price, no way I'm going to buy this book. They're not getting me for some extra money. Um, but then something told me just to calm down. I went up, asked them about the book with the bookstore retailer, and they told me they had one left, and she walked me over to it and presented it to me. So I started to thumb through it, and as soon as I got to the first page, I mean, it wasn't even looking. I just felt, hey, this is the book I'm going to get now. That's why I'm here. And I just kind of giggled like, okay, I got it. So I went up to the front to purchase the book, and they told me it was a little bit more than Amazon, which was cool. I was going to get it. But then I had another little whisper that came in and said, hey, you just started back using your Nook. See about ask is it on the Nook. So to make a long story short, a book that was going to be $9 on Amazon, which is well worth it, $15 at the book retailer, which was well worth the investment, I actually end up receiving for $2.99. And been reading that, applying the principles, and it definitely deals with what we're talking about right now. So with that being said, I want to thank you, Queen Trisha, for that recommendation. I received that, and I know you came out, you and your husband Bruce, to the event. You all were some featured speakers there, and I just want to ask you, because definitely you reached and you touched us all. You all are basically living the simple freedom lifestyle. You go and come as you please. You have a humongous team. You're generating a staggering amount of income. Income disclaimer: not everybody's going to generate income. Make sure you go to the income disclaimer and find out more about that. But I mean, you're living a simple freedom lifestyle. Can you take me back maybe to 5 6 months ago, how things were as compared to where you are now, and also let the people know, maybe a little bit about your process and anything else you'd like to add, Queen Trisha. So what I'm going to do is bring Queen Trisha out, and I'm going to take you off of You Should Be Live right now.
All right. Thank you, Coach Armand. It's such a pleasure to share our story because I know it's possible for anybody. If we can do this, anybody can do this. We're not anybody special. We don't have any great techniques or secret tips or anything, but what we do have is a love for people, and being able to serve people is what Simple Freedom is all about, and that's why we're home here. Let's see, this is the middle of June, end of June. Okay, so January, we started on this new venture on January 11th, and on December 31st, on New Year's Eve, we arrived at Ken and Kimberly and Ron's house. That was in Southern Phoenix, and they opened their house to us. They had a place for our camper to park, and they knew our struggle. We didn't have any money. We were out. We'd used all our money on gas. We'd made it that far. We didn't have money to buy Christmas gifts for our kids or our grandkids, and we really didn't have much money for groceries. So Kimberly and Ron said, "Come and stay." And that's where we were when this came about, when the opportunity came. It's hard to put into words the extreme gratitude I have for them for just saying, come and stay, and don't worry about it. Just plug your electricity in, stay warm, use our facilities, whatever. It was a great bonding time. We've worked with them for a few years, and the transition there from the day that we signed up on January 11th, when we said yes to this, and it was just a continuation of the path that we've been on of going for our dream and never giving up, and always believing, absolutely always believing that's going to happen. And if another book that I would recommend right now to you that are listening is The Slight Edge, because it has guided me to keep going. Because if you stop, if you give up, if you think things aren't working, you lose the momentum. But if you keep doing what you know to do every day, without fail, even when you don't feel like it, you keep doing it, the momentum shifts. And that's exactly what happened in our lives. By the end of the month, we broke a rank, and we had a team building. And it was for the first time ever, we had a team to care for, to take care of, and to help, because all of our efforts, everything that we do, builds under them. It doesn't push up to the top. It builds underneath our team. And so one by one, the team came in and began to build and began to build. And I don't remember the time frame. By the end of the next month, we had broken another rank, and we were starting to feel that relief that this is really going to work. This is really happening. Finally, this, and we were so excited about it. And we see our teammates starting to see success for the first time ever, right along with us. We're all just kind of whispering to each other, it's really working. This is happening, And each month we broke a rank. It was unbelievable. And the team expanded. The team grew. And now we don't call it a team anymore. This is our family, And the really special thing about being at that event on Saturday, being at any of the bonfire events, is that it's a family reunion, and you meet up with the people that you've connected with before, and you hearts connect again, and you're just so glad to see them, just like you do when you go to your own family reunion and you catch up on things. But then there's new people there that have never been a part of the Simple Freedom culture, the family, and they're awestruck, that we love each other so much, and that we just welcome you in, and we greet you, and we help you. That's the most beautiful thing that I experienced there, talking to brand new people who had no idea what we were all about, and whose eyes just lit up, and who were just amazed at how they were treated, how they were welcomed, how they were loved at that event. The next one I know is coming up. It's not going to be till December, but whatever you got to do to get there. I mean, do what Christina did. I mean, trains, planes, automobiles. She made her way there. She didn't give up. And we helped out. We went and met her and picked her up and brought her home to us and said, yeah, be here. And she was. And so I don't know what else to say. It's from the heart. It's Simple Freedom is family. It's family to us, and each one of the teammates are brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles. I'll be your grandma, whatever. It's such an endearing place to be, and it's such a rewarding place to be. So, back to you, Armand.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Queen Trisha. Appreciate you for coming out on the call and sharing with us from your heart. With that, Queen D, we talk about events, and the best thing I can tell you is that whatever event is next, you definitely deserve to get to. And Queen D, do you have any dates or any events that are coming up next that people will want to plug into?
She's muted.
I've got you.
Sorry, I was muted. Yes, the next event that we'll be at will be the Wake Up Empowered event, September 11th to the 13th in Salt Lake City, Utah. I'm so looking forward to that. And because we do these events every 3 months, right? It's every 90 days that we like to come back together for a reunion. And because we're having our company event, we'll be doing that, like I said, in September 11th and 13th. And then the Simple Freedom Family event after that is December 20th, again in Carlsbad, where we meet for training and for sharing love and for bonfires on the beach. So those are our next two coming events.
Awesome, awesome. And I just highly encourage everybody to make it to those events. And I'm just looking at the time, and we want to keep everything continue to move forward and close down here shortly. But as I think, and I know we have a young gentleman because, we're here in Southern California, myself, and we've got people all over the map. But I'm going to reach out to a gentleman, a brother of mine. We go back a long ways, and I continue to love to see what he's doing, how he's approaching this business and making an impact in other individuals' life as he builds a very strong team here. And he's also at the level of D3 on his way to the next level of leadership, which we call here, which is F3, which basically is the $600 club. So with that being said, Anthony, are you there, Action?
You see me?
Absolutely, absolutely. And one thing I like to say about him, and Man Up gave him this moniker, is that he takes the information from up high, meaning like you're a little kid and you're trying to get to the cookie jar and you're trying to get up there, and he brings it down low. So therefore, you can get the information and just have that chocolate chip and not have to struggle to get it. So, Action, any words that you like to bring to the table from what you've heard, what you felt, maybe a little bit more why you hear, anything that you can add of value to what we have here?
Absolutely, and I appreciate that introduction. Folks, I'm just going to give it back to Coach Armand and Queen D, Queen Trisha, and Joe, and Christina, and Dana. I'm just going to give it back to the whole entire team because that's what this is all about. This is about the teamwork that we really for the first time I can honestly say is being really implemented in the structure that's being built as a network marketer or as a entrepreneur. I've been privy to being able to build a business, or actually several businesses, that relied solely on myself. And then having to build what I thought at the time was going to be my 401k, which was network marketing at the time, was like a non-traditional business, and came into this marketplace like a dozen years ago, connected with Coach Armand at an event that actually changed my life. That was the first thing, is that we talked about events here. You felt exactly what the folks here on the panel are talking about. Those things, while we're talking about them to you, and you can kind of get a gist of how real the event was for those folks. And I myself personally, I feel a little left out because I wasn't able to make it to that event. But I know how important it is to go to events, because at the point where you go to events, that's when you actually change your life. People's lives get changed at events. What we do here, we're able to connect. I know I connect and see Trisha and Dee and now Christina and Joe, and see these guys all online. We connect through these Hangouts, which is awesome because this tool didn't even exist. I want you to understand this. This tool didn't even exist like 3-4 years ago. So to be able to connect, you can see a person's body, know what they look like, how and kind of feel their spirit through a television screen or basically a computer is awesome. But I tell you, nothing really beats actually flesh and blood. I tell you, the first time I connected with DD was so he's crazy. Like, we met on the streets actually at an event, and just to see how she was and her long, along her long silver gray hair, I was like, yo, what's this lady right here? She's crazy. I love her. And then to connect with Trisha and Bruce and their story, actually their story happened and unfolded at an event that really touched myself and Coach Armand, because I didn't know them before this event, and just knowing what actually transpired for them to get to this particular event, what happened to them along the way. Hopefully one day you'll get the chance to break bread with them, and they'll discuss that with you. Those things are like immeasurable. So what I encourage you to do is just put it down. You have enough time right now. Put it in your date, make a decision, and come to the event. Basically, have yourself at the event where you can actually connect with the great people that we're talking about here today. The golden nuggets I could possibly give you that hasn't already been said here: events change lives. And this team right here, this team actually really is a family. Each one teach one building. I'm learning stuff from everybody, from Christina and Dana and Dee and Trisha, everybody I'm able to learn something from. You just go ahead and be a fly on the wall, be a fly on their Facebook wall. I encourage you to go look for these folks on Facebook, connect where they're at, and then you can see. Simple freedom is just that. I don't know what simple freedom is for you. For Trisha, I know what it is for them. They're not tied down. They're able to move and groove and go where they want to. I mean, I know For instance, she talks about her river that she had to leave. Like if you follow her, you'll know. And honestly, I never knew about this particular place in Missouri, but I know it all through her experience. So I've lived a bit of her life through her, and that's just what we aim to be the examples here. So we just want to show up and show out, and that's basically what we do here with the Simple Freedom family here. So I encourage you, check us out, find out if we really are who we say we are, if we're really about what we say we do, and then you make a decision. A decision basically is to decide to cut off and to move forward. So with that being said, man, it's been a fantastic call. I turn it back over to, I guess I'm turning it back over to you, D.
I think so. I just actually got a message from Armand. I don't know where he went, but he asked me to close it up. I'll close it up with this. Everything that you've heard here obviously has come from the heart. The people here are very authentic. Everybody has their own why for doing what it is that we do. Although at the core it's pretty much the same. Simple freedom. What is it to you? What does it mean to you? That's what it's all about. You come into the fold. You come check us out like Action Jackson just shared with you, and just be yourself. This is a place where there's no pretension whatsoever. You come in, you be yourself, decide, get comfortable, feel it out, decide what it is Simple Freedom means to you, and go after your dreams. We encourage you. And we encourage you to invite yourself in, vote yourself in, basically. That's it. So we'll say goodnight. Armand is actually messaging me again. So hang on a second. Let's see what he's got to say. If anybody else wants to take it while I'm...
you know what, Dee, I've got one thing I want to throw out there.
Okay.
Just from personal experience too, there's a lot of the internet is full of opportunities, but what's real and what's not. I'll just say this, you guys. If all you're after is money, for one thing, it's going to elude you. You have to have a deeper purpose than that, and if you should align yourself with people that have some good core values, and the biggest of them all is wanting to help other people. And everybody says that. But you can tell which ones, the ones that you don't know what they look like because their profile pic on Facebook is a scattered bunch of $100 bills they copied and pasted from somewhere else. I'm sorry if you do that, but make your life something about more than money. If that's all you're trying to attract in your life, you're probably going to be chasing it all the time. But if you make it something a little bit deeper about wanting to help people and really caring about other people, I promise you, it will come to you so fast that you won't even know what to do with it. And this is an awesome place to find that, because everybody here, there is a place within our group you can go 24/7. There's somebody always sitting there. You can ask a question, bam, you get an answer. A lot of times they'll even say, here, just give me a call, I'll help you out. So there's lots of love here. There's lots of help. And if you have a deeper mission and you're not just trying to pay your light bill this month because you're freaking out, you want something bigger in life, well, then you found a good home. And there's a perfect example of it right there. That's it. Thanks, Dee.
Cool. I don't know if she's still on. Can you hear me, Jay?
All right.
I think she got muted out too.
We're just meant to say goodbye. We love you.
Love you all.
And
Hey.
Love you, Trisha.
See you on the next
Christina,
Hangout.
Anthony.
Peace out,
See ya.
you guys.